pick there. Looks like Lee Sin is the champion they most care about. That's going to be Blaber's champion here most likely.
Yeah, going back onto that, game one, it was Blaber on Lee, Babip on Zinzao. They swapped it around. They had the Lee takeaway for Babip, and Blaber answered with the Olaf. Yeah. Without the Olaf on the table, he's like, no, I want that Lee again.
Maybe staying away from Zin, maybe just feeling comfy, maybe feeling like, you know what, we can handle him, man. Happy to give it back to the mid. Maybe not happy, actually. Pilot looking very good on the champion in 2 games. Game 1 definitely the more standout one, but still feeling very comfy. As you mentioned, Peace definitely playing through their bot lane so far in the series, and I imagine that will continue. So it might just take support here. It might feel like there's nothing so good that you have to take it right now. So perhaps you give themselves maybe some counter pick chances there in pick 3. A lot of discussion it looks like here, but Babip is going to line up the next champion, and the boy goes to Nidalee for potentially their final game of this world.
All right, Babip going back to one of his most comfort champions, do or die game here. One of the reasons that it's so good for Peace is just Babip's individual skill on it, but as we talked about before, potentially unlocking some of the champions in Tally's pool. So I can see why they're going for it here, being like, okay, the physical jungler AP mid's not working, swap that relationship up. On the flip side though, C9 going back to something that's maybe gonna raise a few red flags for North American fans after that first game.
They definitely don't seem as practiced on this lane, right? I think Vulcan has definitely made a career in many ways on his engaged supports, and playing the squishier, more like range supports is definitely a different style of play. Not that they can't play it, of course. I assume it's something they practice, something that they can be very good on. But bringing it out here again, here maybe wanting to show that, hey, like that was not how it worked in practice. Let us show you what it actually looked like. As Irelia is a cool pick here as well for Peace. So getting real spicy in some of these lanes here as the Rise will be taken away from Perkz.
Yeah, the Irelia had been seeing a number of bans, and that's one of the things that got freed up with the changes to Peace on red side here. They grab it themselves. Blind can be a little dicey to do that, but they have the backup of Nidalee. I'm sure it can be flexed around if needed. I don't know if Chachi wants to play Irelia. It doesn't seem like it. I expect that to be going mid lane.
Yep.
So they're getting rid of some of the champions that Tally would not want to play up against.
An actual, factual Yasuo ban by Peace. Not Yone, Yasuo being banned away. That to me smells like I want Nah out of Vizicsacsi, but we'll have to see. Poppy also banned away. You love to see that.
Yeah.
Getting the respect in.
We'll see if they follow up with the other respect ban for Chachi in the Rumble. You said the Gnar. Potentially, I would be surprised if they did go Gnar. I don't think you need to ban Yasuo to go Gnar, given that you already took out the Irelia. You could ban the Camille instead, which is a far more likely Gnar counter pick.
I'm curious if Tally is worried about Yasuo in the 1v1 then, maybe.
That's what I would assume. Oh, but who knows?
Oh, it does make sense, actually. Oh, now my brain is... I'll have to remember it later. I can't remember if Irelia's E is a projectile or not. That's basically the thing that makes that matchup. It might be if it's a ban here, but you know what? We'll figure that out later. That's fine. Not for today. We'll have Rakan once again here for Aladoric. Looked great on it in game number 1, especially in the early levels. It does seem like Cloud9 do want to mix up their damage profile a little bit. Gwen is a great way to accomplish that there. And so that is going to be the pick. That's presumably for Fudge, and that's kind of why I thought they were doing it, because there's Yone for Perkz.
Yeah, there we go. The Yone going to come in. They're going to be, if they end up blocking it. Ooh, okay, the tryndamere.
Melee mid.
Another melee mid. I mean, it is still, I was about to go into like this is a very aggressive team comp, low range, almost no CC, lots of focus on just trying to kill people in 1-3-1 setups, but even your 1-3-1's a little whack if it's just Lucian and Nami in the mid lane. But that's what we end up getting. And on the flip side, we get the Sett for Chachi, bringing some stability up to the top lane. And giving them some setup for the Nidalee. It is a very strong combination of those two champions that has a lot of CC affinity to land easy spears. There is a bit of outplay potential, though, with the Gwen Hallowed Mist. You know, it's just hard to land skill shots from outside. You just block them down. So the Nidalee will need to get inside if she wants to land a long-range spear. You need to get that before the Hallowed Mist comes out from the stun off the Sett, or you need to actually gap close first and then get all your damage out. Yep.
Definitely some cool interactions there to look out for. Here's nice to see Chachi staying consistent. This has basically been his role since he emergency came onto the team as a substitute. Definitely that nobody expected. I saw actually Pabu, was from Pentanet, who had the honor of losing to Peace, who are now still here on the world stage, battling up against Cloud9, saying that, you know what, I don't know if anyone had NA Perkz versus OCE Vizicsacsi on their bingo. I'm going to guess probably not. That is not the timeline many would expect.
No, that is a bit of a strange matchup for both these players to end up in those situations. But here we are, and heading into Game 3 of the final best of 5 of play-ins. Cloud9 wanting to get through just a clean 3-0. Peace wanting to stay alive and rally, give themselves a chance to the reverse sweep.
Now, if there was ever time to run 1-3-1, I feel like Cloud9 are playing the 1-3-1 comp. You even have a little disengage out of Lucian for the 3, so everything's kind of built in nicely. Obviously, you can build to get some lane leads here. Can't expect there won't be aggressive play. It is not Ignite for Fudge, it is Flash. It is also double Moby Summoners for Perkz, which makes sense. That is kind of the thing you always do. As a reminder, if you do want to have a chat with us, you can use Verizon 5G or chat. Perhaps your musings on the internet will be featured on the broadcast.
Everyone, do your best. Submit your best Blaber Olaf joke.
Yes.
Maybe it'll show up. I assume that's what the competition. That's all Twitter's probably talking about right now.
Yeah, there was a lot of that and Gordrinker.
Oh yeah,
Which those things are obviously related.
Gordrinker Sterix getting a lot of attention as well.
Not bad.
Both teams rushing into the bot lane, dropping a ward down there, and then resetting.
Getting early control of that brush. I mean, given how bloody the level 1 has been in the bottom lane 2v2, perhaps that's a good ward to have.
Yeah, but it's interesting how they did it too. I mean, it was Perkz running down there, getting it, and then swapping the trinket after dropping the ward, the sweeper trinket, excuse me. Aladoric doing the same thing. So the nice thing about it for Aladoric is if you think you want brush control to find these engages, you're going to have the sweeper to get rid of future wards by Cloud9.
See what Perkz gets up to with his as well. Have seen his tryndamere already once in this tournament. If you're unfamiliar with tryndamere, I have the crash course for you. It's very easy. You go into your lane, you hit the minions. If the enemy champion gets near you and it's reasonable to hit them, you hit the enemy champion. And you repeat that for 25 minutes until the game ends. Sometimes 45 minutes.
Chicken them if they're physical and they're hitting you to drop the AD. You get the heal as well.
Just keep hitting minions.
Yep, just hit minions, heal, regen through lane phase. Quite boring of a champion. This time around, with Peace's bot lane contesting, or helping, excuse me, Nidalee on the clear, will mean they can't contest the level 1 from C9's bot lane, which was something that they have been doing quite well through the first 2 games. Here you see just kind of having to sack their control over it right now.
Definitely curious to see how Babip can do. We've had definitely eyes on the jungle matchup so far this series, and it has delivered. Blaber obviously getting the better of that second game, but that's going to be true for almost anyone in that kind of position. But Babip's Nidalee is fearsome. Blaber definitely knows his way around the champion, as Zven is the one trying to get aggressive now. This is more what they were looking for here. Now they hit level 2, and Peace just have to back off completely as Perkz. That's what the sweep was for. I like that. Knows he's going to get the lane push, immediately gets out and tries to maintain vision control and spot off where the enemy jungler is, make sure they don't have vision either.
Same thing he did in the first tryndamere game that he played, knowing that he gets the push really early with the E-start, just auto-pushing the wave and then going to the enemy Raptor camp. Last time he stole a couple of the little chickens. This time around, spots the Nidalee and just goes, hey, I found her, everybody. And it allows C9's bot lane, who already kind of knew that they would have the free safe push, just actually go as hard as they want.
Ooh, going really straight for here. The dive, it looks good.
Whoa.
There is first blood out of Zven. A much better go this time around. Aladoric gets some battle back, but Ignite's already done, and Zven's fine. They even get a turret played out of the deal there.
Yeah, much better start to the lane phase for Cloud9, showing that game 1, maybe a little bit of a fluke on their part, making some mistakes, showing that they actually can pilot the Nami Lucian. A very aggressive level 2 dive out of them.
And as you said, somewhat enabled by the fact that Perkz got the extra info. Blaber out down here to the bottom side of the map, looking for the revisit. Violet did not use his flash, did only use the heal there. But not going to step too far forward. Zven also out of the lane, so no threat right now. But this was just so clean out of C9.
Yeah, Vulcan's going to throw the W on there to get the bounce proc, as well as the E onto the Lucian. And I mean, that was it. Didn't need a bubble, didn't even have bubble yet. Just the extra passive from Lucian, getting the on-hit damage. The double taps come through as well. Q just blew him up.
Yep, Nami's electrocute proccing in that state as well. So really nice stuff there for C9. Combining it all for their all-in. Perfectly calculated there by Zven and Vulcan. Looking good there for first blood. I believe that's the first blood they've gotten all series. So it feels good to kind of bring it back in the bot lane.
I was going to say, all of them have been in the bot lane, though. It's just their first time getting it, I think.
Yes, I think that's true. Face breaker there from Chachi, trying to get Fudge out of the way. Fudge just continues to snip the minions, as Perkz is going to spin on Tally, because Vulcan's here with the level 3 Nami roam. You know, that's a normal sentence.
Yeah, even though on the Nami, still happy to get out of lane phase, has to be a little careful about how he gets back to lane now. Cut off by Aladoric and Babip.
But Blaber, the one debated in, has to burn the flash though for Vulcan. Perkz still spinning around and no dive forthcoming. Blaber launches the Q out into the stratosphere, but doesn't quite connect. And Perkz is going to push this wave and then get away. Stun actually hits there, but Perkz is happy to battle Tally. Still got the Nami in the back pocket.
Potentially setting up a dive here onto Chachi.
Oh, this is going to be a weird play because everyone's trying to cut off the top lane jungle.
Yeah.
So Fudge had it set up. The wave is in position as well, but everyone knows what's going on. So it looks like Perkz is just going to try and cancel a recall, spin away. Does have Bone Plating proc. Vulcan now moving back to Blaber. Perkz fending off 2 right now. Teleport coming in this time. That's Chachi back out of base, but Perkz and Blaber want to kill. Aladoric getting chopped up by the big sword. There is a 1v1 dive is happening as well. Are you kidding me? Perkz is going to get jumped up by Tally. Zven is doing violent 1v1. Cloud9 trying to make a play literally everywhere. And Zven's the one that gets it off camera.
Only a single kill in that situation, but my God, Cloud9 are pressuring so hard. Fudge slamming top lane, winning that trade, forcing Chachi back to base. Chachi wants to heal and reset off that and TP into that mid lane fight they thought was going to break out, but Cloud9 just disengaged there. And it was a bit of a magic trick while you're watching the mid lane down the bot side. In the other hand, Cloud9 with Zven diving the MF, only at 16 CS. Just absolutely brutal. Level 3 still to the level 5 of Lucian.
That's a big diff. Violet is going to hit 4 here off these minions, but that is a huge deficit. 20 plus CS up as well. And hey, let's watch this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's already chunked Violet down to around half health prior to the dive happening, and then it's just land the abilities. Yeah. There's really not too much more to go on there. I mean, maybe Violet could have flashed the Q damage of the Lucian. I mean, if you're really tricky, you can get that off. It is kind of difficult. But other than that, it was just, you know, too high levels.
Oh, Tally getting chopped. Perkz does not have 6. Wants to commit, heals himself. Blaber looks for the Q, doesn't land it, and Tally will live.
And so as much as, hold on here.
Vanguard's Edge popped out. Perkz, no ulti, can't make the mistake at least, as Gwen now going back in. Fudge with his own solo kill now. Takes out Vizicsacsi in the top lane.
Ooh, the Sett counter pick into the Gwen. Not looking that great. Would have expected it to be a difficult matchup in general. Gwen can be kind of difficult to deal with for some melee matchups. Oh, it's looking pretty suspect here for Peace.
Yeah, early game, once again, in favor of Cloud9, up almost 2,000 gold, but the individual lane leads are starting to get a little wild. I mean, Perkz is continuing to play aggressive and get attention, which is almost working in a lot of these cases, but Zven is massively far ahead still individually. Fudge is starting to get a foothold in that matchup and can likely break that open. And again, Aladoric just gets deleted by Zven, who pops the culling. He is still 2 levels ahead of Violet.
Yeah, Aladoric just with that electrocute proc from the Nami gets exploded before his W even triggers. It's just dead before it can happen. Vulcan all over the map right now, making things happen.
All right, no flash here for Vulcan. Is a target. Violet gonna let it rip. Damage is enough. Babip gonna get one back, which is nice. Zven low on mana and a little low on health. Is gonna dodge that Q, is what I'm trying to say. And gonna be A-OK, but Vulcan not so lucky.
Yeah, look at that total gold graph. Zven there dominating.
Vulcan has more gold than Violet.
Oh no. You hate to see it.
Not going well for the Peace bot lane, unfortunately for them. Tally with a stun here, once again contending in the 2v2, but Blaber just kicks him. Perkz will run in here forever, and Blaber activates Q when the shield is down, tries to time it right, gets it good enough, and now Aladoric in trouble, gonna get slowed down. Blaber looking for it, doesn't have the kick, but one more Q will do it, doesn't get it, but Aladoric is gonna be pushed out of mid lane.
Red Smite almost finishing him off there, not quite able to do it. As we see some more trading on the top side. Very scrappy game so far. Peace trying to find their way back into it. Babip gets the 1 kill on the Nami, but like you said, you want that shutdown on the Lucian for sure. So insanely rich for Zven already.
And what I was trying to talk about earlier, we mentioned a little bit at the top of the series where I think so much of this, like initial plan is to try and control Babip, which makes sense. Lilia needed to be banned throughout this whole series, but I was curious what was going to happen with Nidalee, and I guess this is the answer. Like, Babip didn't want to go to it, wants to go to it this game, which makes sense. It's his most played champion, easily one of his best and his most comfortable champions in an elimination game. And even though he's playing fine, the rest of the map is on fire. Like, yeah. Lilia can at least find a way back into the game from here with her ultimate to make a play. Nidalee does not have that luxury when your team falls behind.
And you can just see how screwed their bot lane is. They can't even contest anything out of the Lucian, so they just let Zven hammer away on the turret and say, okay, we have to go top, get out of this lane phase and grab this Rift Herald. It's a nice consolation prize, but it's much nicer for Zven to say, oh, I don't even care. I can just keep pounding away on this bot turret.
All right, we have a little Verizon 5G Ultra here from Yoshikira22. If Perkz doesn't press R again, he should officially name change to Perkz. You'll love to see it. As Perkz is going in, Rift Herald's dead as we saw, but Tally may be dead as well. Dashes away to the Raptor. Little nice escape there as the Rift Herald's drop topside. They will trade for the towers. Unfortunately, the bandit says Zven already got it and all the plates for himself down in that bottom lane.
Yeah, Zven is absolutely monstrous, pushing another wave, still going, now working at the inner turret, it looks like, as he leaves to go roam into river. C9 also grabbed the dragon a little bit during that sequence, so get the first one in their pocket for Blaber. C9's done a good job of controlling dragons pretty early on throughout the entirety of play-ins.
Definitely something I feel like they've been focusing on. Obviously, with this kind of game, pretty straightforward to go back and take it. A little later on this one, we will not get a Cloud Soul this game around. Not 3 for 3, unfortunately. It cannot be the case, given that Cloud Dragon was the first one. It's going to be either Infernal or Ocean, which is always good news.
And already C9 moving into the 1-3-1 lane setup just 10 minutes into the game. They have a ton of vision control. Peace getting some back now in the bot river, but you can also see in the top side, multiple pink wards for Cloud9. Feeling great. We'll have to see where they go from here. And one thing I gotta say is the roaming Nami support is kind of just the NA playstyle right now. A lot of North American supports love roaming.
Zven is getting charmed by Aladoric, but the tidal wave's coming in. Violet forced to flash it, but Aladoric has been tagged by Blaber. In he goes, and still lives to tell the tale. Blaber picking one off there.
Yeah, just not enough damage to finish him off, and no CC to lock him up under the turret. So very clean kill for Blaber there. Still pairing up with Vulcan. The two of them moving around the map now. Want to transfer this pressure up to the top side. Tally recognizes he cannot stay underneath this turret, so Fudge gets some alone time on it. Keep working down these turret plates. And this is exactly what I was talking about with the roaming supports for NA. They had a number of the supports in the highest of roam percentage across the world in playoffs when a number of teams were not moving around the map this time. We had basically 0% duo procs for Core JJ during that time. And this is what they love to do. They want to fight you all over the map.
Blaber maybe a little too far forward, but not punished for it just yet. Zven, the one to try and find the punish, doesn't quite get Babip as Chachi looking for the engage here. No one up the river just yet, although Violet's looking to make it happen. Bubble is going to be dodged out, and C9, it looks like they got away with this one. Fudge over the walls, Zven still battling. Aladoric doesn't have his ulti, so there's just nothing here for Peace.
Yeah, Cloud9 want to keep baiting him forward too, because during this time, Perkz is in the bot lane, just working away, pushing in minions. Cloud9 force pressure away from him. Peace try to respond. Can't find anything though.
And it's about to be the catering company here for Cloud9. There's so many plates. Take it off these towers. 2 in top side, looking like 2 again here in mid. Zven already got all 5. He's looking for like a 7 or 8 plate game for himself. In fact, he's got a minute and a half left. Might be able to get more depending on how much C9 wants to commit to pushing these lanes, but just so much extra gold given over to Cloud9, given over to Zven in particular, who already has that Gale Force finished. I believe he beat out Blaber for the first mythic of the game, but can't be that close. Once again, they're both off to the races.
Definitely the case. Dragon in a minute 40. Maybe we'll have a little bit of downtime for my non-sequitur here.
I'm ready.
At the start of play-ins, I was tweeting with Hi. We were kind of teasing each other about if he'd actually be awake for it or not, and I was supposed to call him out in the main broadcast. This is going a little bit later in the day than I meant to do it because, you know, these games have been pretty bloody. But Hi, if you're listening, tweet at me. Let me know that you're there. What's your favorite breakfast item? The other 300,000 people watching, I don't care. Save your tweets. This is just a check to see if Hi's awake. Hey, you guys can tweet at him too.
Yeah, tweet at Hi, definitely. And it is timestamped, so we'll know if he's awake. It's 8:35 by my clock, here at least on the West Coast of the United States. Wherever you are in the world, though, thank you so much for tuning in. As topside, we got some trouble brewing. Aladoric with the quickness finds Fudge. Blaber goes back in and pops the gold drinker. His favorite button to press does look good. And he somehow gets the kill out of the deal because Zven, the absolute terror of the top lane right now, I suppose, is letting a rip on a Vizicsacsi. Cole's in there as Vulcan picks up the credit for the kill. And Babip's going back in, but Zven, beautiful flash out of there. As the spear will not connect. Urban flow out of Vulcan to keep him healthy as Aladoric's in trouble. It is Blaber finding that Q. Rides the lightning there in on towards Violet. Great bubble there onto the Nami. Kills him off there as Perkz is able to get it. It's actually the Gwen that finds it because Perkz is taking towers in the bot lane. It's basically a 4v5 and Cloud9 can do no wrong. Babip gonna be slain here by Blaber. That's a sentence as he will get that kill now on a rampage, and Fudge trying to complete the around the world ace. Will let one go. Aladoric lives to tell the tale as Zven takes the top lane tower, and this game's getting ridiculous, MarkZ.
That 4v5 for Cloud9 comes out in their favor. Don't give a single kill up during it. Grab 4 more of their own. And oh god, they just have such great champions for scrapping. Lucian, Nami, Lee Sin, even Gwen, you know, are all champions who are very good in extended fights. Nami just constantly topping people off. And it all started, you know, just with some initial good trading as they collapsed down onto the Gwen and forced Chachi's ult out early. And then while this TP's coming in, an important part is how quickly Vulcan lands the bubble. Well timed there to stop Tally from basically being able to do anything. With him dead, it's basically still a 4v3 because the MF has such a hard time getting involved in this fight. She wants to come in there, but she can't run through anybody. And during this time, the rest of Peace is just pinned up against the turret. A lot of kills that they just want to finish them off. Not able to do it.
Oh my god! Okay, if you didn't see how that started, that was very funny. I will call the moment though because Perkz is busy spinning away from the rest of Peace. Now Vizicsacsi coming in, great base breaker finds two. TP coming in though for Cloud9. We'll see what happens there as the ebb and flow still coming out for Vulcan. Needs to stay alive. Blaber though finds it onto Tally at the back end of it. Perkz still chopping down trees as Vizicsacsi is the next to fall in the forest. Blaber unstoppable as Cloud9. Looking to maybe dive through the turrets. They will. The tier 2s don't exist. Perkz is letting it go. Gets another. The tier 3 don't exist. All right, they do exist. Everybody back up as Perkz getting crazy under the towers.
Yes, Cloud9 still have a little bit of restraint left in them. Did not go underneath the inhibitor turret. Back off there. Zven finishes off the outer turret, begins working on the inner, while the rest of Cloud9 dissipates after what is another crazy skirmish around mid lane.
And I don't think we're going to replay of it, which is okay. But if you wonder what happened in mid lane, Perkz basically popped W, slowed down whoever's in mid. Oh, we are going to get it? Let's go.
They're going to give it for you. Don't worry.
TX replay. No! Bring that back! Vulcan on a killing spree takes out the MF. Tower 2 Tower's going to go down.
The fastest axe replay you're ever going to see.
Bring it back.
Dude, that was a sick replay. Did you see how Perkz ran down lane for a second?
Yeah. That's pretty much the story of that kill. I hope we get it again, but if we don't... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, if we don't get it, I'll retell the story.
We're at a kill per minute here. 16 kills, 60 minutes. Look like we're going to get some more
Tough
right now.
to squeeze it in. Tally back in there in a 1v3 that he can't survive as Blaber. 6 kills and counting. Now dominating here in this game is Cloud9. Looking at that final spot in the group stage, Mark.
Yeah, looking like an inevitability at this point. Over 10,000 gold up. Continuing to just slam Peace for the second game in a row. Almost a perfect game, if not for the one turret and the one kill in Peace's favor. See if they can catch Vulcan. Nope.
Little bust.
Shelly had something to say. I wonder if Shelly can bop you midair and stop you from getting over the wall through the blast cone. That almost happened there.
That would be a savage way to die. You know, people died like, oh, I got knocked up by the Baron because I wasn't watching my feed. You know, that happens sometimes at Shelly betrayal.
Yeah, you have to have your teammate attack Shelly as well to aggro her to get the charge to hit you and stuff. I don't know. Oh, this is a play-by-plays game, man. I'm the color. I'm working worlds. I'm feeling good. Shut up, Mark. You don't get to talk. We're getting kills.
All right, well, I guess we're not going to get it, which is okay. I will recap what would have happened there. Basically, tryndamere found a slow, and then the Nami tidal wave just rolled on in, and it was like fast animal, slow children. There was no escaping tryndamere running you down there in mid lane.
Perkz has been a little bit on the island this time. Him and Gwen both only at 2-0-3. The side laners not having as much fun as Nami and Blaber. Here to go, grouping up mid again, forcing Peace to respond to him. It's so early into the game, and C9 just have so much control. It's very difficult for Peace to even try to go cross-map right now when so many turrets are already dropped down.
Yeah, 5-1. Opened up pretty much everywhere here, so C9 have taken complete control of whatever half of the map they tend to be on right now. It's the top lane, protecting the split push of Fudge. Zven is, I don't want to say vulnerable, great tidal wave there, finds 3 for Vulcan, disengages, and there's the flank with the blast cone! Very spicy. Blaber finds a kick on a Vizicsacsi. Not the target he wanted, but hey, I think at this point, there are no bad targets when you get this far ahead. Yeah,
Blaber just had itchy trigger finger, had the flank. Nice triple bubble by Vulcan as well to start that fight off, but just didn't have an angle to really get going.
What is this? Position swapping back over this little ridge. Everyone's spinning over the wall. Fudge is like, guys, I'm trying to end the game. Please, come assist me. Blaber does drop the Rift Herald, hearing that call. And C9 are going to break an inhibitor tower here, potentially. At 90 minutes into the game, Perkz is just splitting mid. That tower is dead. Cloud9 going for it. Aladoric looking for it. Finds a charm on his Zven, but it's so far back that it just doesn't matter. It's a double kill already for Zven. It's absolute carnage here for Cloud9. It's going to be an ace. 19 minutes through a quadra kill. Out of Zven. Dancing Shelly on the table. Cloud9 trying to punch that ticket into the wall.
The turn's going to kill her.
No! It's a tragedy at the end for Shelly, but a victory for Cloud9 as they will take the sweep, take down Peace, and finish, pushing one step further into the World's 2021 group stage.
21 kills to 1, a 19, 30-minute game, almost a dancing Shelly. If they just could have finished off that last turret shot. Cloud9 have to feel good after that one. I mean, it's expected win. You wanted to see them have a very strong performance. They absolutely dominated Game 2 and Game 3 after a close Game 1. And they will be making their appearance in the main stage now, as expected. Maybe a bit different of a path than people would have thought. Losing the tiebreaker to DFM, I'm sure that will hang over them a little bit. But at the very least, you are where you expect to be. You're still going to be in Group A, because with this outcome, the groups are already decided for where each team must go.
There is no group draw. We don't need it. It's already drawn. The group draw we did before is good enough for this one. Is Aladoric having a very good tournament. In general, Peace should be happy with their level of play. As always, they continue to show that, hey, we might be a small region, but don't underestimate us. I think when little is expected of you, it is easy to be unexpected, but it's very difficult to be impressive, and that's what they were.
I think that's the important thing.